feeling guilty, like, oh, you could have done more, and so on. And sure that I'm not just okay. And also, productivity is also knowing your energy and not just your tasks. Because there are moments when, because for me, let me use myself as an example. There are moments where I am able to focus and do my tasks, usually at night. let's say from that let's say from that 11 p.m. That's when I'm able to fully focus on tasks, especially the app deadline, which is a very, very bad habit that we need to curb, that I need to curb, and I'm sure everybody else that has that bad habit that is. So I'm going to run through, and let's see the objective of time management and of this class, time management and productivity, is to understand time management techniques and to know how to set and prioritize goals that would help you when you have various tasks to do, and you need to put it all in one. You need to schedule it also that you can meet all your deadlines or even do them long before your deadlines. So, what is time management? It's the process of planning, controlling, and optimizing the use of time to achieve organizational goals and objectives. Effective time management helps leaders to prioritize their tasks, set clear goals and objectives, delegate their tasks, manage meetings, minimize distractions, and use technology. And the benefits of effective time management are increased productivity, so that you're able to do more. There's more outcomes. It's not that once because you're not able to manage your time, what you end up doing is not good enough. So it's when you're able to manage your time effectively, there's increased productivity, there's improved decision making, there's enough time to make decisions on different things. You have your tasks done, and then you're able to see everything displayed, not that you're rushing. And then enhanced team performance. Your team works better when their time is being fully managed, so that everyone is able to effectively do each of their tasks well enough. I know that they are rushing it, and then they are missing out on some things, they are omitting some things. And once you don't have effective time management and you're rushing to do some of your tasks, you end up omitting vital points that once that task is done, and then later you're going to think, oh, I could have done this better, or your superior or you're submitting that tasks for is going to be like, should have done better, you could have done better, and then you end up feeling bad about it. So if you're able to effectively manage your time, your performance in a team or as a leader of a team is going to be so much better. Then better work-life balance. So with that, you're able to reduce your stress. Without, you're able to reduce your stress. So reduced stress and better work life balance is sort of combined, because with your work life balance, you're able to sort of separate your work and separate your life. If you're able to cover all that you are supposed to do during the week, you know that we are going to have the weekend for your own personal life, and then you're going to be able to rest and all. There are some skills that you need as someone who is going to be effectively managing their time. You need to be able to prioritize, schedule, keep a to-do list, delegate, and you'll be able to rest. So I'm going to explain all of this, but I'm just giving an overview of what skills you need as a time manager. Then I don't know if some of you have done your CV, but on your CV they usually ask for some soft skills. And then on your soft skills, you're going to be saying that, oh, you have communication skills, verbal and non-verbal. You're going to be saying you pay attention to details, and then you're going to be adding, oh, I have good time management skills, because usually employers want to know, okay, are you going to be able to work effectively? Are you going to be able to work under pressure? How are you going to be able to prioritize your tasks? There are situations where, in an interview, I was doing an interview for a job, and the interviewer was asking, okay, if you're in this situation, what are you going to do? And essentially, it's basically the person was asking, how are you going to the person was asking how I am going to manage my tasks effectively. What am I going to do? How am I going to be able to prioritize my tasks? How am I going to schedule it accordingly? Um, so yeah, it is. So effective time management skills, using planners, prioritize your tasks, minimize distractions. Sorry. Sorry, since I was rushing a bit, so let me go back a bit and talk better. So I'm going to sort of link this to the former class I had with you guys, which was effective communication. And you're going to be able to see that because I was rushing through my slides, you were probably not able to pick up on some things I was saying, and it was not so clear. So I'm going to dial back down and then let's get back to it. So the benefit of effective time management is one, increased productivity. And this allows you to focus on your high priority tasks, and you avoid multitasking, and you're able to overall give a higher quality work, and you're able to complete your tasks faster. Then with improved decision making, you're able to decide on the things that you're meant to do correctly. You're able to there's enough time for you to think clearly. There's enough time for critical thinking, and this leads to better outcomes. And for the enhanced team performance, yeah, you're going to having your team is able to better manage their times, better do their task well and effectively. They are going to be able to give you work that you're going to be proud of, work that you're going to be okay with. That's where it comes in, it's linked to increased productivity. So with their enhanced performance, team performance, they're able to give you quality work. And then better work and life balance, I linked it to reduced stress, where let's say you have the weekdays and you have the weekend free. You're able to balance between your personal life and your work life. There are people that they usually say, "Oh, I don't want to take my work home. I want to finish my work at work," and they know that I have my personal space at home. So with effective time management, you're going to be able to finish your work in the stipulated time that it's supposed to be done, and not that it would clash with when you're supposed to be resting, and that comes with reduced stress. With reduced stress, you're going to be able to have a better mental state. Your health will be better. You're not always under pressure that, oh, I have so many deadlines to meet, or I didn't finish my task at so point, and now I have to mumble everything up together. I have to push everything up together and meet my deadlines. Your stress level will be reduced. So here are the time management skills which I'm going to talk on better, but I'm just going to list them here. A time management skill is prioritizing your tasks, scheduling them using maybe planners, keeping a to-do list and delegating to your team members, and then being able to rest, which is linked to all of these are linked to the effective time management. So here they are listed. So there's a bad habit me I have. So usually I realize that whenever I write down the things I need to do, it makes my head clearer. Like I'm able to think clearer if I have like a lot of things to do. So when you're using planners, planners help you keep track of your tasks, help you keep track of your schedules and deadlines using calendars and alarms. They are there for a reason. Your calendars, your alarms are there for a reason. You need to make good use of them. And if you're scheduling, you have to also remember to schedule in your rest time. Don't bombard your schedule and bombard your planner with work, and then you're unable to rest and you end up being stressed anyway, even though you're organized. Remember that you are dispensable actually, so do not forget to put yourself first when it matters. Schedule in breaks in between. And as you can see, I was talking about using planners and it's linking to scheduling breaks. And so I'm going to talk about the Pomodoro technique later. I don't know, does anyone know about the Pomodoro technique? You can drop in the chat if you've ever heard of the Pomodoro technique. So prioritizing your tasks. You need to prioritize your tasks based on the task and the time sensitivity of it. What does the task entail? Is it bulky, or is it so that you need to do the ones that are less time consuming first? And then you also need to learn to say no. So this is linking to learn to say no. You need to learn to say no to non-essential tasks, especially when you're bombarded. You should not take on more than you can handle. And then with prioritizing your tasks, let me use it as an example for people that are gamers. You know, whenever you're playing a game and then you have different let's say tools that you need to use, and then maybe there are like tools that you need to use at one time, or you have like a lifeline. You're usually trying to plan how you would use those tools and then use your lifeline without ending the game super fast. So this is you prioritizing, this is you planning it in your head. Then minimize distractions. This involves setting your phone aside. Like if you know that once your phone is beside you, you're not going to be able to you're not going to be able to focus on what you're doing. You need to put the distraction aside. I've had someone say that it's better to put your phone in another room to reduce the urge of picking it up. But if you must use your phone, you have to make a conscious effort. There are phones that you're going to be able to shut off the data for specific applications, and so you can do it so that you shut off the data for your social media apps, maybe like your Instagram, your WhatsApp, your other social media apps that are going to be distractions for you. I know that messages are not going to be coming in because the constant ding ding is going to be a distraction for you. So learn to minimize your distraction. And if you know that even doing all that, you're still going to have the urge to you're still going to have the urge to pick up your phone, then you might as well put it someplace else that it won't be so reachable, and then you'll be able to focus on what you're meant to do. And then yes, we talked about the scheduling breaks, but I'm going to talk about the Pomodoro technique later in the slide. And also, you need to recognize when you are burnt out. Overall, take note of when you are mentally and physically exhausted. You need to remember to exercise, meditate, and socialize. If you've been sitting for so long, stand up, take a walk, let the blood flow through your entire body. Because like I said, you are very much dispensable. So remember to always think about yourself, think about your health when you're doing your tasks, when you're doing your work, recognize when you are burnt out, and accountability. If you struggle with getting things done, work with someone. If you struggle with getting things done by yourself, work with someone. This is what sometimes groups are for. You don't have to do the same tasks, but you just have to be able to keep each other accountable. I think there are study groups for this too. And I know this is in relation to leadership, but I'm trying to generalize it. And then with also keeping yourself accountable, and with also keeping yourself accountable, it is also celebrating the small wins. It's also celebrating the small wins. It's also because some people have some people have like should we say imposter syndrome, or like bad habits of not thinking of their achievements as achievements. Sometimes when you do a task or you do something, and then in your mind you're like it's not a big deal, but in a way it's a big deal. You need to celebrate your achievements because that would sort of boost you and make you more energized to work more effectively to do your other tasks. So, like you said, for effective management, you need to use planners. We're talking about calendars and alarms. You need to prioritize your tasks based on time sensitivity and how bulky your task is. You need to minimize distractions, and this is talking about keeping away things that will distract you so easily. Talking about your phones or your video games, you need to set all that aside and know that you're locking in when you need to lock in, and then you should schedule in breaks. You can't sit in one spot the entire time and just work. You need to schedule in breaks to be able to focus, and then recognize when you are burnt out. You need to know when you're exhausted both physically and mentally. You need to remember to take a break, which is also related to this scheduling breaks. Then I also talked about accountability. So I'm just doing a recap. I also talked about accountability, and accountability is being able to hold yourself responsible. And if you feel like you need help being held responsible, have a group of people that also need it, and they are going to be able to keep you accountable. I do that with my friends, like, okay, have you done this? I need to do this. Can you guys like just talk to me about it from time to time, and they'll check up on you. Okay, you've not done it, you should definitely do it. And sometimes they help you out with it. So you need to hold yourself accountable and remember to celebrate the achievements that you've made, the milestones. Remember to celebrate those milestones, because that's a way of boosting yourself. That's a way of patting yourself on the back that okay, I've done well. I'm not telling you to go and splurge. I'm not telling you to go and buy one super expensive thing that's going to leave you drinking Gary for so long. No, I just mean like okay, so just celebrate when you've done different milestones. And it doesn't have to be one huge milestone, because sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves. So it doesn't have to be one huge milestone, but just remember to celebrate the little things. And even if it's in your team, when somebody has done this and you know the person has been stressed out or something, there's a way you would look for ways of boosting the person's morale. Then also learn to say no, especially when your plate is full, when you have so many tasks you're doing. Learn to say no. Learn to say, okay, no, look, I can't take on this task that you're giving me. I have other tasks I need to do. Because once you take on a task that you're not going to be able to do, you're going to end up feeling guilty that we're not able to do it. And then the person who gave the task is like, okay, you should have told me that you can't take on this task. So learn to say no. It's really, really important. And then we have the Eisenhower matrix. Has anyone heard of the Eisenhower matrix? Drop it in the comments if you've heard of it at any point in time. If I don't see any comments, I'm going to believe that everyone has been living under the rock and they do not know what the Eisenhower matrix is. Okay, someone said she has never heard of it. Sorry, you're living under the rock. Sorry to say. Um, okay. So the Eisenhower matrix, this was developed by Dwight D. Eisenhower, and then he was the 34th president of the United States. The Eisenhower matrix is a task management tool that helps arrange and prioritize your tasks based on their urgency and their importance, as you can see in the chart, in the visualization, you can see in the table. It consists of four categories. You have urgent and important. You have urgent and not important. You have not urgent and not important. And then what's the fourth one? Urgent and important. So depending on what category your tasks fall into, specific strategies can be applied to manage them effectively. So for your urgent and important, it's something that you have to do right now. It's something that you have to do immediately. These are tasks that are important for your life and your career, and you need to do them today or tomorrow at the latest. So you could use a timer to help you concentrate while trying to get as much of them done as possible. And you can use the Pomodoro technique, which I'm going to talk about. I've been emphasizing I'm going to talk about the Pomodoro technique. So you can use the Pomodoro technique for your urgent and important tasks. An example of the task would be when you need to review an important document that has been sent by your manager, or there's an urgent task that you have to do immediately. Know that you need to lock in and focus on that task because it's urgent, it's important, it has a deadline, it's something that is needed now. And then we have the not urgent but important, or important but not urgent. These are tasks that you should add to your calendar, where and this is where your planning and your scheduling comes in. Scheduling a time that you would need to do it. And this also reduces stress because you're going to be able to move those tasks into a reasonable date and time that you'll be able to do it, that you'll be able to calm down and do it. So such that by if you're able to schedule it, if you're able to schedule your important but not urgent tasks, they wouldn't by the time you're doing them and by the time you're done with them, they are not going to be so urgent. It's not like once the deadline comes you would be rushing to do it, you'd be rushing to get it done because you would have done it in a timely manner. And then we have the not important but it's urgent. And these are tasks that you can delegate. You can get someone else to do it because they are not important to you, but they are still urgent. Then you can keep track of your delegated tasks by email, telephone, or within a meeting to get to check back on somebody's progress. You can it could be a meeting where you're delegating work to be done, like it's something that is urgent, but it's not for you to do. It's not important for you to do it, or somebody else can do. Let me give an example. Let's say you have things that you're doing and then someone asks you for some things, it's urgent, the person needs an answer immediately, you can route that call and direct the person to someone else who will be able to answer it well. It's not important to you, maybe it's important to that person and you can get somebody else to do it. So that's what it means, that it's not important or it's urgent, it's something that needs to be done, but you do not have to do it by yourself. It's something you can delegate. And the last one is delete. Eliminate it. This would help you sort out the things that you are not supposed to be doing. And let's use the example of distractions, maybe like you're scrolling endlessly through TikTok or like IG or something you shouldn't be doing and you can be doing something else, something more effective. So an Eisenhower matrix would help you with your time management. You're going to be able to categorize your tasks into each of these fields. You're going to be able to categorize your tasks. Oh, this is important and I need to do this important and urgent, and I need to do it right now. That's the first one. The second one is that it is important, but it's not urgent. It's something that, oh, I can add it to my calendar and be like, okay, I think I'll be able to do it on the 21st of April. I should be able to do it on 21st of April, and it's not towards the deadline. My deadline like it's still like 25 or 26. You're going to have ample time to do it. And then if it is not important, but it is urgent, it needs to be answered. It is such that you can delegate it to someone else. You can have someone else do it. It's a task that you can give to somebody else. And if it is something that is not important, it's not urgent, it's not going to save the world, delete it, eliminate it from your calendar. You don't need to do it. Don't add it to your to-do list. It's not important, remove it. So that's what this is for. So you can form a table and put your tasks in each of these boxes to help you understand how you want to prioritize your tasks. Because that's the whole purpose of the Eisenhower matrix. It will help you prioritize your tasks effectively. Are we following clearly? Drop a chat in the comment, Abby. Drop a comment in the chat so that I know that everyone is following very well and I'm not just rushing through. Okay, thank you very much. And so we come to, yes, this is it. This is it. I'm not really explained. I've already gone through explaining, but yeah, this is it. Urgent and not important. Do it now. Urgent and unimportant. Delegate. This is it. Plan it and Then what I've been talking about dramatically is the Pomodoro technique. So you can see what it's about because that's the whole point of a visualization. You can see that one, decide on the task you need to do, two, set the timer. Anyway, the Pomodoro technique is a popular time management method. It was invented by an Italian, Francesco Cirillo. It's useful if you're someone that gets distracted easily when you're working on a project or you want to understand how long your project is going to take. And it's ideal for writing or when maybe when you're coding or you're designing something or you're just studying. And it's also good when you're doing work that is going to be repetitive and continuous on and on. So there are people that they find it hard. There are people that once they sit down, they can focus on a task 5 hours straight. They're on it and they're done. I'm not that kind of person. I need to take a break in between. I need to do something else, stand up, focus on something else, come back to do the task I want to do. So this is the Pomodoro technique and it's going to help you really, it's really effective. So once no, you're just going to combine it. Once you've made use of the Eisenhower matrix, you've decided on the task that you need to do first. You've already put them all inside their boxes, and now you need to do the task. So you've decided on the task that you need to do right now. You're going to set a timer. So this is 25 minutes. You're going to set your timer, okay, lock in, work for 25 minutes. And then once the timer is up, take like a 5 minute break. And I know usually it's, oh, my 5 minute break, let me quickly scroll through social media. But you also need to time it to know that, okay, you're doing this for just 5 minutes. And then you go back to it. Do another 25 minutes, take a 5 minute break. Do another 25 minutes, take a 5 minute break. Do another 25 minutes, take a 5 minute break. And that is going to be 4 circles. And then after those 4 circles, take like a 15 to 30 minutes break. You're taking a longer break. Give yourself a little bit of a longer break, do something else. Because in a way, it's also going to help your mind, help your thought process, going to give going to also keep you energized. I know that you were just focusing on one thing the entire time. There are people that are able to do it, but there are people that they are not able to do it. Because after a while, when you're staring at the same thing on and on, it's those situations where you could be reading a document and then you come back to realize that you were reading the same line and you don't understand what you're doing. So it's better to take a break from time to time. Sorry. And so now I'm going to go into my case studies. So this is leadership, and we are going to be talking about different people in the leader spectrum that we can take one or two things from them. And this is Ariana Offenton. She's the co-founder of the Offenton Post. And our own way of time management is that she focuses on relentless prioritization. She focuses on essential tasks and eliminates distractions. She prioritizes her tasks ruthlessly, focuses on what is essential, and eliminates the distractions to maximize productivity. This is repeated, but I'm trying to make an emphasis on how she manages her time. Can anyone tell me what techniques she's using? Because I'm saying she's prioritizing tasks ruthlessly. She's focusing on what is essential and she eliminates tasks, she eliminates distractions, sorry, to maximize productivity. Can anyone tell me what technique? We've already learned the technique. What technique is she using? And by doing this, for Ariana Offenton, it improves her productivity, it reduces stress, and it increases focus on high impact work. The next one is Bill Gates. In my last class too, we're talking about Bill Gates. At this point, you're probably going to think I'm his biggest fan. But Bill Gates, co-founder of Microsoft, he divides his work into four quadrants. He focuses on dividing tasks into quadrants or categories to prioritize and allocate the time effectively. And this improves his focus, it increases productivity and better time allocation for him. Yes, that's right, Ellen. It's Eisenhower matrix. So, as you can see, this matrix is widely used. Bill Gates is using it, and it's very, very effective for them. Ariana Huffington is also using it. Very, very effective for them. So, why aren't you? Then was next. And so our last person, this Jack Dorsey, who is the co-founder of Twitter and CEO of Block. He focuses on day theming, that is dedicating each day to a specific area of focus. And this is quite helpful if you think about it. It's not that, okay, today I want to do this, tomorrow I'm going to do something different, but it's going to help him focus on what he's supposed to do. He identifies key areas of focus and dedicates specific days or time blocks to each area to maximize productivity. It could be like, okay, let's say, let me use, can I use as an example? You know what, let me just let's give an example. But okay, let's say you have three rooms in a house. It is so that you're focusing, okay, let's today I want to focus on painting this room, the four walls or the five walls, depending on how it is structured. I want to focus on painting room number one. And then tomorrow, I'm going to focus on painting room number two. Third day, I'm going to focus on painting room number three. Or it could be that, okay, today I want to focus on painting the walls. Tomorrow, I want to focus on doing the tiles. On the third day, I want to focus on bringing in the furnitures. This is him, is giving a theme to each day. He's able to, it helps him so that he's going to be able to focus on one specific thing in one day. And it's not that he's bombarding himself with so many things to do in one day. Like it's saying, okay, it's just one working and then saying, okay, no, today I'm going to paint, or I'm going to do the furniture also today, I'm going to do styles today. And it's not that he's rushing through everything. Then by the time he's done painting the walls don't look as nice as it would have been if he had focused on just painted the walls. The furnitures were just brought in and then they brushed through the walls because the paint on the wall didn't dry well enough and it's now smudged. It could be that the tiles still wasn't done. There are some chipped or broken tiles. So with focusing on specific areas per day, this improves his focus and reduces context switching and increases productivity. I think you got what I mean with all of that. Like this is also prioritizing. This also falls under prioritizing. And remember that in all of this, like I said previously, in all of this, you have to remember to also take a break. You have to also remember to say no. It could be like when you have one task, you already have like 100 tasks you need to do. Let's say you have to go through a website, you need to work on you need to code a website, you need to make some adjustments, and in all of that, you need to get to the market, you need to do also many things. And then someone comes and brings an order task. You have to be able to tell the person, look, already bombarded as it is, I already have things I need to do, I can't help you with this. Or if it is something that or if it is something that somebody else can do, you can redirect the person. Okay, I can't help you with this, but somebody else can. So that is the different techniques that you can utilize as a leader, and even when you're not in the leading situation. These are all things that you can do. Okay, so now question and answer. Does anyone have questions? Do we have questions? Could be different scenarios. Drop in your questions.
Do we have questions? Can just drop them in chat or raise your hand. They can unmute and then speak.
Okay, Noah asked for a recap of the first case study. Okay. The first case study was Ariana Huffington, and what she focuses on, like for when she has tasks to do, essential tasks to do, what she focuses on is prioritizing those tasks. She focuses on doing those things that are essential, those things that are important at this point, at that point in time, and then eliminating distractions, anything that is going to hinder her doing the tasks that she has prioritized, anything that is going to hinder her doing the urgent and important tasks, she eliminates that. And this helps in increasing productivity. This reduces stress for her, and it also increases the focus on high impact work. Does that answer your question? Okay, I should do a summary from the beginning. Okay. And do that in 2 times speed. So today we talked about the time management and productivity, and the purpose of this was to understand time management techniques and to know how you can set prioritize your goals. And we said time management is the process of planning, controlling, and optimizing the use of time to achieve organizational goals and objectives. And effective time management enables leaders to prioritize their tasks effectively. They're going to be able to set clear goals and objectives. They're going to be able to delegate tasks. And this is so that, okay, you have the time, you have 24 hours, you're able to prioritize your task and set clear goals. Okay, between let's say 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., we want to do this. So this is our goal, this is what we need to do, this is the task we need to do to achieve this. You're going to be able to say, okay, then once we are done 8 to 10 a.m., you're going to be able to manage your meetings. You're going to be able to say, okay, once we've done this task, let's have a meeting on it and then let's talk about what the goal was, what the objective was. Let's see if we've achieved that. And then you can have your meeting like, let's say 11:30 to 12, because you've given a break, like okay, they've been working on that task, let me give them a little bit of a break, and they are going to meet up again and talk in the meeting, and they are going to be minimizing distractions. They're going to, okay, we need to lock in, we need to finish and achieve these tasks and goals. Everyone needs to pay attention. It's not that you're going to be scrolling endlessly through your social medias or watching a movie when you're supposed to be achieving specific tasks, specific goals. And then it's also that it enables us to use technology, where we're going to be talking about using calendars and alarms. And we said that the benefit of the effective time management is increased productivity. You're going to be able to work better, their team performance is going to be better, they are going to be able to um, make better decisions because you have ample time. Once you've done the task, okay, what is the next step? I'm going to be able to perform this next step. And it's not that your team is going to be is going to be so exhausted that their performance on another task that comes up is going to be mid and it's going to be mediocre, then it's going to help you better balance your work and life. So if it's that, let's say during the week you're going to work, you're going to be able to do everything that you need to do essentially. You're going to be able to do everything, complete your tasks during the week. That is, if you effectively manage your time, you're going to be able to cover everything that needs to be done during the week. And then you know that by weekend, you're going to be resting. And this is going to also help your stress level. We're talking about your mental, your physical health. And also put in your, okay, I want to go to the gym, or I want to go to the restaurant. You're going to be able to fit all that into your time. And that's the benefit of effective time management. Coming. So we have the time management skills that are necessary, which is the prioritization, the scheduling, keeping a to-do list, delegating and resting. And these were all explained here. Where we said the effective time management skills are using a planner, make use of your calendar, make use of your alarm. They are there for a reason. If you need to get something done, set reminders. Okay, I need to pick up someone by let's say I need to pick up someone by 2 p.m. Know that whatever it is you're doing, you have to get it done before the 2 p.m. because okay, you need to do something by 2 p.m. You need to make use of your calendars and your alarms. And then you need to prioritize your task. And that also we talked about the Eisenhower matrix. And I'm going to run through it again. You need to minimize distractions, and we're putting emphasis on this. You need to be able to lock in when you need to lock in, focus on your task when you need to focus on it. So, whatever you feel is going to be a distraction, set it aside, put it somewhere else. I'm not saying that you can put your phone in another room. You can you can you can also put your phone on maybe do not disturb, or you can put your phone on airplane mode because phone is one of the ones that are heavy distractions. Or if you saw that, you know that if you're here and you're beside your friend is going to be a distraction away from that scenario and move somewhere else where you're going to be able to focus on your task. Then scheduling breaks, and we talked about the Pomodoro technique. When you're scheduling breaks, you're focusing on, okay, set some amount of time. Let me do this within this time. From this, okay, I want to focus between 9 to 9:30. I know that I need to write this report, and let's say you need to write a report. You need to write a code. You need to go through a bank statement. So you can say, okay, let's say from 9:30 to 10, I know that I'm focusing on the bank statement. And then after that, you give yourself some time to rest, refresh your brain, and then know that you're moving on to another task for another amount of minutes, and then take a break, another amount of minutes, take a break. And then also recognize when you are burnt out. Know that you can't keep working endlessly. At some point in time, you're going to get tired. At some point in time, you have to pay attention to your body signals. You have to know that okay, I've been working endlessly. I have just been surviving on, let's say, 2 hours of sleep or 3 hours the entire week. That is not a recipe for an healthy living. So you need to recognize the times that you are going to be burnt out, and then that's where scheduling breaks come in. If you're able to schedule in breaks, it will help you reduce when you're burnt out. But overall, you're also supposed to take huge breaks in between. And then accountability. If you're someone who finds it hard to get things done by yourself, you can work with groups. Have friends that keep you accountable. Have friends that will push you to do what you're meant to do. Or groups that you know that okay, the benefit is that okay, they are going to push me to achieve the things that I'm meant to achieve, the things that I'm meant to do. They are going to help me achieve it. That's holding yourself accountable. And if it's also such that you can also keep yourself accountable with your planners, with your alarms and your deadlines. There's where you can also keep yourself accountable with that, but just make sure you have something that is keeping you accountable to do what is right at the right time. And then it is also so that when you're keeping yourself account when you're keeping yourself accountable, you have to you have to when you're keeping yourself accountable, you also have to remember to pat yourself on the back. You have to remember to celebrate your achievements, celebrate your milestones, and then learn to say no. If your work is already bulky as it is, learn to say no. Do not take on more tasks. Do not bite more than you can chew. Journey on and on. And then we talked about the Eisenhower matrix. So we talked about if it's important and urgent, if something you need to do now. This purpose of this Eisenhower matrix is that you are going to be able to categorize your tasks effectively. I think someone asked the question on Eisenhower, so let me just answer it here. We have on the Eisenhower matrix, does it mean the task delegated isn't important if it is urgent? Are there tasks delegated not meant Hmm? Are all tasks delegated not meant to be important altogether? So, something can be urgent, but it is not important for you yourself to do. If it is important and urgent, you do it yourself. Just like Ellen said, actually, she answered it correctly. If it is important and urgent, you do it by yourself. But if it is something that it is not important, but it is urgent, it needs to be done, but somebody else can do it effectively, delegate it to somebody else to do, especially if you have so much on your plate. And that's where we're saying that you should learn to say no. So do it now if it's important and urgent. Decide, schedule a time if it is important but it's not urgent. Parents, it's not something you have to do right now, right now. And if it is not important but it's urgent, you can give it to somebody else to do it. Somebody else can do it well, but it's not for you to do it. Like it's not something you have to do. And then if it is not important, it is not urgent, delete it. And then we talk about the Pomodoro technique. And the whole purpose of the Pomodoro technique is that you're going to work for some amount of time and then you're going to take breaks. So here it is that okay, set your timer to 25 minutes. Focus on your tasks for 25 minutes. Take a 5 minute break and go another 25 minutes, take a 5 minute break. And then overall, once you've done like four cycles of 25 minutes, 5 minute break, 25 minutes, 5 minutes break, take a longer break, which it could be 15 to 30 minutes. And then we talked about various leaders that make use of that try to manage their time effectively. And one was Ariana Huffington, where we said she focuses on essential tasks, eliminates distractions. And the benefit of this is that it improves productivity, it reduces stress for her, and it increases focus on high impact work. And then we also have Bill Gates, who says he focuses on dividing tasks into quadrants or categories to prioritize and allocate time effectively. And if you remember, Eisenhower is divided into four quadrants, four categories. So you could be using this also. And this improves focus, increases productivity, and better time allocation. And the last person we looked into was Jack Dorsey, and he focuses on daydreaming so that he puts a task per day. Okay, I want to do this, I want to focus on this and just this today. And I know that I'm focusing on something else tomorrow. And the thing is, the benefit of that is that it improves focus, it reduces context switching, and it increases productivity. And then just add that it reduces confusion. You're not so overwhelmed with, oh, I have to do this, do this, do this, do this, or I'm doing this, and then you quickly move on to something else. You're able to focus on just one thing in one day. So the whole purpose of time management is all over around just is know yourself, know what works for you. For him, it's dating. For the others, It's prioritizing based on quadrants, and then you can be able to do different things in one day. So there goes my recap. Do you have any more questions? Any more questions?
Do we still have questions? So the attendance link will be dropped now while we are waiting for more questions. So you can still raise up your hand or drop your questions in the chat. So drop the attendance link now. Let's just fill it. And if you have issues filling the attendance, just follow the instructions in the broadcast that was sent previously. So the link has been dropped in the chats. You can start filling it in.
Deborah Motorayo, I've answered your question. Was it clear? The attendance link has been dropped, so fill in your forms. Everyone should fill in their forms.
So please let's fill the attendance. Then tomorrow, the tests or the midterm test will be available on MarkTechie. So let's check our platform tomorrow so that we can take the test. I think it will just be 50 questions for 30 minutes. So I'm not sure. Might be different for your own track. But just check the platform tomorrow to view your quiz, and then you can take the quiz from there. So let's fill in the attendance. So once you fill it in, you can exit the meeting. Thank you. So let's keep filling the attendance. You can see responses already. So if you still have questions, you can still drop them. We are still expecting questions. let's keep filling our attendance. So we'll end the session by 5:15. So in case you are having issues filling the attendance, quickly send a DM to the allocated number. And you can change your network or change your browser. If you fill the attendance too, you can exit the meeting. The next class will be next week, Thursday, same time, same place, on Zoom and on YouTube. Also, let's not forget to check our platform tomorrow to be able to take the test. So the test will be open for a few days, and only those that take it through, with their answers be recorded and their responses be recorded. So you take the test after the deadline, then that's on you. Please let's do well to take the test before the deadline. So the broadcast will be sent tonight. So let's check our platform starting from tomorrow to access the test. So anytime from 12 p.m. you can check. So the test will last for days. It's not just for tomorrow. It lasts for days. But I think 3 days. For all information will be communicated. Okay, concerning the test, it's available starting from tomorrow. So anytime from 12 p.m. you can just check your MarkTechie platform. The test will be open for a few days, and only those that respond to the test in a few days will be recorded. So let's respond to the test before the deadline, or there will be a broadcast communicating that tonight. So let's watch out for the broadcast too. I want to believe we've all filled in the attendance. So if you've not done that, we still have a minute left. Let's fill in the attendance. So for those of us having graphic designs tomorrow, still the same time, 4 to 6 p.m. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. So this brings us to the end of this session. See you guys next week and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.